Hello, adventurer! There's nothing more that brings me joy than a brand new episode of my favorite podcast. But I always do need a refresher, so let's find out what happened last time on The Incredible Party. Continuing to utilize Shaft's shackles of shackling to great effect, Mia returns to the party in the aftermath of the battle. Quickly joined by Julvi of the theater, the Darkling Bard leads them through hidden passages of the Arknall before they are seen by more of Hannah's guard. Finally able to catch their breath, Julvi tells them of his people's dark legacy and Hannah's betrayal that led to their subjugation by the Neogi. Unsure of what to do next, Mia sends Samuel Coltis a message informing him of the party's acquisition of the Amulet of Kalar. And now the harrowing adventure continues. Samuel responds immediately, as per the rules is written. The sending spell is how it works, as you know, everybody knows.
Yep, and we never get wrong.
Nope, never. Good work. Airships inbound in 2 days. Troops will amass at the tower. Deliver my amulet to Corporal Sally. Compensation pending.
I think we all just stare at Mia.
Yeah, we're just staring intently at Mia.
All right, Samuel got my message. He says, good work. The airships are coming inbound about 2 days. We're to deliver the amulet to Sally, and our compensation's pending. But basically, we need to get this to Sally. So back to the inn?
Yeah.
Yes, back to the inn.
I would like to return to the inn and retrieve the rest of my belongings there. And
I think you have something important to do.
I would like to change into something a little less comfortable.
Same.
Hey, Jolvi, is there a way we can just sort of pop up to the street without going, back through the back door?
I can get you to the sewers, yes, friend.
The non-Neogi part of the sewers?
I unfortunately cannot guarantee.
Well, then, can you get us back in and out the back of the Arknall Theater without being seen?
From here, I can get you into the theater. We can go through the stage. We could go up to Hannah's box.
I think we want to be not seen by Hannah's dead body.
Sounds like we have to go into the sewers.
I don't want any suspicion on us. I think we have to.
now, there is the issue of this thing that I have to deal with here. I sort of gesture to my bag of holding, where the soul cage is. Do you want to wait until we get to the inn to do it, or?
How hard is it to do now?
Well, not very, I don't think. It just means that I'm going to have to carry the contents of the bag, which isn't all that much to carry.
Falzer and I will help you carry your crap. Do it now. What happens if we get captured by Neogi or something like that?
I agree.
true.
Right.
We've worked very hard to accomplish this. I think we should see it through.
Okay, do it now. What do you gotta do?
Well, I just simply have to destroy the bag with Sardo's soul inside of it.
Well, empty the bag out, and then we can leave. Look at Jolvi. Can we leave some valuables here for safekeeping if necessary?
Well, Shaft, I don't have that much to carry. I think it shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, but books. I mean,
You brought a book with you, Falzarin?
Jolvi will kind of walk over to one of the corners that Shaft had been inspecting and, pick up one of the traveling sacks that was over there. Shaft had found the money from. Just kind of turning it out, and then we'll basically brandish it, an empty bag here. Will this suffice as a substitute?
Oh, that's perfect, Julvi. Thank you. You're too kind. So I will begin emptying all of the non-soul cage items out of the bag and putting them into the little traveling bag. I basically just have like my spell book and a few other books, and then I was carrying Mia and Shakar's weapons.
You thought you needed books?
Mia, books are very important to me.
I get
They
it.
hold
It's just...
knowledge, which is the most treasured thing.
Let's get on with this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Oh, right.
And I assume Danny was in your bag of holding as well.
Yes, Denny as well. I will beckon to come out.
Okay. Yeah, Danny flits out.
While I do have his soul captured in this prison, I could make use of it a bit. It would only take me a moment.
What do you mean? Are you gonna play around with him?
It's kind of gross, Falzarin.
Can you poke him?
There are a few things I can do as per the magic that has trapped him here. I could ask a question about something he might know that might be beneficial to us. I don't know that there's anything useful that Sardo can tell us. I can steal some of his essence to heal myself, which might not be a bad idea considering my current state. And I could also see a location that he has been at some point in his life. Again, I don't know how useful that is. Unless any of you have any ideas.
Just don't screw anything up and let him out.
Would it be beneficial to ask him about Erica's plans for the Kraken? What her end goal was?
That's not a bad thought. It hadn't occurred to me to think of that.
Kraken's dead. I don't
More out
want...
of curiosity than anything, I suppose.
Do I really want to know the answer? I don't know.
You can put your fingers in your ear.
Ha. Right.
Why don't we give it a shot? What's the worst that could happen?
Well, the Revenant could get out and we'd have a big problem.
Mia's, like, very uncomfortable.
Are you sure you know the words you have to say to do that?
Well, it seems pretty straightforward.
Klaatu Barata.
Don't you hate it when you sneeze in the middle of a spell? Okay, so Leland. One of the actions is Query Soul. It's no action required. I ask the soul a question, and I receive a brief telepathic answer, which I can understand regardless of the language used. The soul knows only what it knew in life. Must answer me truthfully and to the best of its ability. The answer is no more than a sentence or two, and might be cryptic.
Okay.
Sounds like this is all for nothing.
What
Before you even
what
ask.
is your question?
So we wanted to see if he knows about what Erica's intent was with the Kraken. Is that right?
Think so?
Yep. Ask it.
Falzarin sort of concentrates for a moment and says, Sardo, tell me what you know about what Erica intended to do with this Kraken that she was bringing back to life.
I didn't quite care. It was a means to an end to kill you.
Well, Sardo says he didn't quite care. It was just a means to an end to kill us. There we have it.
That tracks. He seemed pretty one-track minded.
He did seem to have one express purpose he was interested in.
Well, he did come back from the dead for it.
Yeah, you gotta want it.
True enough.
You see, Julvi has taken out a little pocket notebook and it's scribbling notes. This will make a fine performance. Please keep talking.
Okay, so I suppose I still have 7 uses left. So I could use Steal Life.
You have 4 uses if you want him to remain captured. 5 if you don't care if he gets out.
Oh, right, yes.
On the 6th use, the soul is released from the cage.
Okay, so I can use a bonus action to drain vigor from the soul and regain 2d8 hit points. So I will do that.
I feel like he's just playing with his food at this point, because he can.
Well, it does seem a little inhumane, if I'm being honest. I think Falzarin feels a little awkward doing this. He's never been a big fan of necromancy, but
What do you
desperate
think?
times.
What do you think Elmar would say, seeing you now?
I know.
Maybe he is watching as we speak.
From up above. The other plane. He's taking a little dancey with their necromancy.
Yes, Falzarin.
Necromancers are just misunderstood, Bill.
Exactly.
Yeah. This just isn't the Falzarin that Sardo once knew and tracked, okay? This is the darkest timeline.
Okay, not bad. Nine hit points healed.
You need to do it again?
Need or want is the
Same
question.
thing.
I will do it one more time.
Same thing when it comes to necromancy.
The want and the need and the need and the want.
So that's 10. Okay.
Ha ha ha. Do you have an evil Chocula laugh now?
Is there anything else you want to utilize as far as this soul? Do you have any interest in any of the other abilities?
I not that I can think of. I don't know. Like, is there any location we'd be interested in looking at right now that he's been to?
I don't know.
Finish him.
Yeah.
Yes, I think we shouldn't prolong this. It doesn't quite feel right. Perhaps I will reach over to Shaft. Shaft, if you don't mind, do you have something sharp that I could borrow?
Yeah. I just reach into my boot, pull out my dagger.
Other than your wit.
That's always sharp, baby.
He offers that free of charge. So I will take the dagger and hold up the bag. All right, I guess we get this over with. And I will plunge the dagger into the bag.
And I'm assuming you put the soul cage back in the bag before doing so.
Oh, yes, yes.
Always.
Oh, crap, it's over there. Oh, darn it.
Please.
Yes.
Falzarin is very intelligent.
As you pierce, like there's resistance that is it's not like it doesn't feel like piercing through like normal cloth, right? It's cool. You kind of got to put your back into it, which it doesn't take like a phenomenal amount of effort. It doesn't take you like a 20 strength score to be able to pierce this bag. But as you pierce it with the dagger, just like the kind of the normal like ripping sound of cloth you hear, and then it begins to like warble, and the bag itself starts to fold in, like imploding almost into this like little pinpoint of like bluish green light, right? And the pinpoint doesn't get any larger, but the whole bag just like sucks right in your hand, right into itself until it winks out of existence.
When that's happening, when it's imploding, I'm going to grab Falzarin to make sure he doesn't go with it.
Damn it.
Is that it?
I believe so. My, that was certainly was interesting. I've never seen such a thing.
It was quite intense.
Can I have my dagger back?
Yes. Thank you, Shaft.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yes, you have to ask for those back.
Yeah, I learned by watching you.
I will sort of look back to Shakara and look down at her hand and say, "Thank you. I appreciate your concern, Shakara."
I'll just take my hand off you and wipe my dress. Wipe my hand off on my dress.
And I will, I think Falzarin will try to concentrate again and activate sort of the soul cage spell just to see if there's anything there still.
Okay, and you feel no effect or any connection like you did previously utilizing the soul cage.
Well, it seems to have worked. I feel nothing. I'm not able to access his soul.
Good.
Good riddance.
Well, Shaft, that's one revenant we can put behind us, I suppose.
There are others.
Mission accomplished.
You never can be too sure.
I think he's joking, Shakara. It's right? Falzarin?
Yep, in a way, yes. I don't know of any other revenants. I certainly hope there are none, because this was quite the ordeal to go through.
They are annoying.
Let's hope we have less issues with the sewer. Jolvi, lead the way.
All right. Jolvi will take you, again, finding like a hidden wall, hidden passageway. Sorry, hidden door in one of the walls, a hidden passageway. And leads you through it. You're navigating. This hallway leads you into is about 10 feet wide, like 7 to 8 feet tall, right? Kind of a normal looking hallway. It looks pretty meticulously like paved as well, and clearly like man-made. Again, this is very similar to those that were conscious going through the Darkling tunnels way back in like session like 14 or 15. This looks like very similar, right? Similarly crafted. It's again, there's nothing fancy or like no exquisite stonework, because again, you know that the Darklings themselves just kind of inherently or what's the opposite of inherently, have no artistic flair or talent, it seems, as a people. This is a very short hallway, which leads to an actual proper door. This door, you see as Jolvi approaches, he kind of stops short at it. Oh, this is strange. And it's been barred and like nailed with planks of wood put across the frame in itself and like nailed in it, and basically it looks like it's been barricaded.
On the inside?
Correct.
When was the last time you were here?
I have used this entrance a singular instance when I first came to the Arknal, and I have not left since.
What's on the other side?
A series of tunnels and hidden passageways between our living space and the sewers themselves.
So apparently they blocked this off so the Nyogi couldn't get in here. That would be my guess.
And Mia starts using her hammer on the barricade.
Maybe it would take you 10 minutes to pry the boards off of this door, and there's like an actual bar too that would be set into it, like if you were to normally be able to bar a door, in addition to the excess of barricade.
Does anybody have another circlet?
No. We'll get Jolvi one later. By the tower. We're all going to be meeting at the tower.
Yeah, well, I'm more worried about going beyond this door with Jolvi. Are you staying here, Jolvi?
He's got to lead us.
I will take you to the sewer opening into the streets, but any further I would prefer not to stray.
My concern is the door's locked or bolted shut, so things can't get in. If we go through and the Nyogi are there, Jolvi here might turn against us, not by choice.
I will go first and he can direct from behind.
I don't think that matters if he gets mind controlled.
I should see them before there would be an issue.
I look at everybody and go, okay, put my hands up.
We'll protect him.
I will also remind you that Kula is with you unprotected, in addition to Jolvi, so there's more than simply just the concern of Jolvi being taken over, perhaps.
So I look back at Kula, just sort of smile.
This guy.
Oh yeah, you.
Oh yeah.
We can take him out if we need to.
Just don't summon another mammoth, okay?
in the little cave?
Yeah, in the tiny tunnel.
Not good.
So, Bill speaking, we all have circlets on, right?
Sorry.
All of us except for Jolvi and Kula.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
the party all has
Yes.
circlets.
The
Yes.
party does.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought so.
Bill here.
Bill here, just checking in.
All right.
10-4, big buddy. Over and out.
Roger that, rubber ducky.
Okay, Shakara is going to take the lead then, with Jolvi close behind.
20 feet behind. I will go dark. You stay 20 feet back. When I come to somewhere I need to turn, let me know. As soon as the door opens, I'm going to cast darkness upon my sword.
I'll be right behind you, Jolvi. And I cast Sacred Flame on my hammer, so we have light where we're at.
Okay, I like it.
Bill here again.
I like this. I think this would be what we do from now on.
Kermit the Frog here is how I hear it.
Okay. These amulets, again, they give you advantage on...
Charm effects. And when you activate it, it gives you immunity for a minute.
Okay, and it's how many activations per day? 1?
Unlimited.
Doesn't have a
But it
limit.
costs you an action
your
to
action.
activate it and lasts
Gotcha.
for 1 minute.
Jolvi, how far is it to the surface?
Well, that depends on how far from the Arknall you'd like to reach the streets.
I think considering the treacherousness of the sewers, as soon as possible.
Agreed.
I agree. Yeah, I think we risk looking a bit suspicious coming up in exchange for getting out of these sewers as soon as possible.
I understand. It's not far then. So, basically, since opening these doors, and now we have this blockade of darkness, which Shakara can see through, followed by a little an area of bright light for the rest of you. Since opening the doors, though, you get you can hear something like immediately upon releasing this barricade, and it's like this. Even as you're progressing now, it's this constant like skittering sounds and guttural. They sound like voices speaking in like prolonged consonants, kind of this strange language that if anybody would like to make an intelligence check, maybe you could figure out what language it is.
Can I get them to write something down for me?
You could ask.
Because then I could read it.
How are they with pen and paper?
Straight intelligence. 10 for Shaft.
I'm concentrating on my whereabouts and making sure nothing's coming at us.
Oh, right. There isn't an intelligence skill. I just add my intelligence modifier,
Yeah,
right?
Falzarin and Shaft can just add their intelligence modifier, but Mia actually can make a history check if that's better. It
It's
might
not.
be.
It's fine.
Falzarin has an adjusted 20.
And Mia actually can make this with advantage.
13.
Falzarin and Mia, while not being able to speak or understand this language, you do recognize it as deep speech. But like these noises, they seem to be like reverberating and are amplified throughout the tunnels. Like you impossible for you to pinpoint how far away they might be. One, you have no idea what the layout of this tunnel system is like, but also it's just so convoluted, but it still seems like it's coming all around you.
Would Mia know if Niyogi speak in deep speech from all the books she's read?
Absolutely, she would, yes. Deep speech is one of the languages that the Niyogi speak. In addition, Mia would know that they speak common and undercommon.
I'm gonna say loud enough for Shakara to hear as well. It's Niyogi. I think I hear deep speech. That's one of their languages.
Quiet. Don't throw them to us.
Okay.
That does raise the other question. Are we moving as stealthily as possible, or are you just concerned about getting to where you need to go as quickly as possible?
I'm moving stealthily.
I will cast Pass Without a Trace with my last slot.
Okay.
Let's all activate our amulets now, just in case. Every minute. Does it give off a light?
They do, yes.
Which Shakara would be darkened by her sword, right? So we're
Correct.
Okay.
I will activate my
I
amulet.
push my button.
I will also.
Okay. Those
Didn't take a
those that
minute.
are pushing their own button, the little diamond in the middle of the leather band lights up and glows. This kind of constant. It's like white light, right? But kind of around the edges of it, you can kind of see like all colors of the rainbow. Is of course that is what white light consists of. Okay, everyone, please give me some stealth checks here. We'll do a group stealth. Jolvi will also roll, of course, and Kula.
How far away does your Pass Without Trace go?
30 feet.
Okay.
27 when you add 10 for Mia.
16 for Falzarin.
24 for Shaft.
16 for Shakara.
It's nice not to have armor sometimes.
They'll manage to roll like crap.
28 for Jolvi.
Dang, that boy's nimble.
And 13 for Kula. Okay.
Ooh.
Oh, shit.
Mammoth. Mammoth on the mind.
Now, keep in mind the way I like to do. I don't know if we've ever actually explained, but I like to do the group stealth check. So basically, it's a pass or fail. If half of you fail, then the whole group fails, and vice versa, right? Jewel. Okay, so Shakara, you're going to be calling out when you hit a turn or some type of fork or whatever that Julvi can then direct you.
Yes, I will turn my head back so that the sound goes behind me, and I'll say forking whichever way or whatever.
Okay, great. That's perfect. You're moving for like maybe 5 minutes, right? And you've called out, oh, here's a right, and Julvi said, yes, take it. Or okay, here's a little T junction. Okay, take a left here. And you get to a point though where after 2 turns, Julvi calls for you to stop, Shakara, and I guess because you can see the darkness. All of you do see that Julvi picks out like a specific stone, right, and opens up an opening in this well-groomed tunnel and moves you into a much narrower corridor, basically. This one's about like half the size, like 5 feet, and it's very clear that you've moved from what would be a darkling tunnel to like a sewer line. Right, and the difference is quite evident. Is there's that distinct horrid smell, right? As soon as he opens up that secret passageway, and like ankle deep gray and brown water as you step into it. Clearly the difference between these two modes of transportation.
I can't even stand
right?
up straight, so then my face is down by the muck.
Now that sound, though, we can orient however you see fit. If you just want to go right back into the same marching order, it's just fine. But behind you, once everyone's through, Julvi will close up that passageway, and even once he does, that's still that skittering and the constant reverberation can still be heard even in the sewer section.
Which way now?
All right, so he marches you forward, and you hit another couple turns until basically you come to like a ladder that seems to lead up to a manhole. The closest opening that could get us to.
I'll go up the ladder.
Why does everyone roll me a last stealth check here as Shakara is ascending?
30.
17 for Shaft.
17 for Faldrin.
31 for Mia.
31 for Jolvi. And a 13 for Kula. Wow. Kula, come on, buddy. All right, that passes that trace, really coming in clutch. Shakara, you can easily climb up the ladder, open up the manhole, which, as soon as you, like, shift it and move it, like, the darkness, like, would spill out and rise with you, right? So anybody in the street, which you do see there are some passers-by, as it's not very late in the evening yet, right? Maybe approaching 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night. After your hour's rest, right? Basically, this kind of would be about the time that the play would actually be like concluding, and the watchers would be filing out. But it doesn't look like in this specific street you can't see the Arknall in this street, and it does actually look where the theater is like what would be like a main strip, right? This is obviously a much more like a side street or something like that. Very much akin to, again, the kind of passageway that the Darklings had dragged those who were unconscious, and you fled away from fighting Hank Applebee's, right? Like, out of most of the gaze as much as possible, down into the tunnels where they can properly navigate.
I'm going to keep my sword up so the darkness stays, and I will climb out of the manhole, and I'll look back down. Hurry! Come up.
Mia, this is where we part, I'm afraid.
Yes, I've been thinking about it. I want you to have this. And I reach into my pocket. I know I don't have my armor on me or like a satchel or anything, but I brought this with me. I have my amulet of the devout I want to give to Jolvi. I don't know if this will help you, but call on the power of Thor. Sell it, do something, make use of it.
He takes it into his hands. This is beautifully crafted. And he immediately will put it on, like, right, put the chain up over his head as he pulls his hood back. I will cherish it always.
You will not be the last Darkling. We will bring your people back here. Once we've defeated the Niyogi, the city underground can be yours again.
I only wish to see my home flourishing like it once was. Thank you, all of you.
We'll do what we can to get you a circlet.
You know where I am if you need to call upon me.
Of course. And then I climb up the ladder.
As I'm climbing up, I also place my hand on his shoulder and say, "Thank you, Julvi. You've I can't tell you how much this has helped us. I really appreciate it. Falzern will climb up, following Mia.
I follow. I just look at him and sort of put my couple fingers up to my forehead and just go, "See ya!" Head up the ladder.
So long, friends. I shall barricade the way back into the theater, just to be safe.
Sounds like a good plan.
And, as the last of you climbs up and seals over the manhole, he sees Julvi kind of disappearing into the shadows, retreating back into the sewer system.
Let's go over by that building and I'll drop the darkness. Everyone hold on. And I'll grab hold of whoever I can touch and I'll run over by the building so that when I do drop the darkness, nobody will see us.
Oh, they won't see us, but they'll smell us.
I never liked these shoes anyway.
They'll lose sight of the giant ball of darkness and then won't be able to find anyone that's residing inside of it.
Exactly.
Okay, easily done. You find a little section alongside one of the buildings that is uninhabited.
Do I know where I'm at by looking around?
Yeah, you know you're a couple streets south of the theater.
Oh, it's this way. We got to go down we can stay. There's some alleyways that we can sort of lean into here. I think we can go by without too many people seeing us. Just don't look suspicious. Act like you're just out for a night on the town.
Easy for you to say. I look down at my dress, just drenched in sewage.
Right, I imagine probably in tatters a little bit too.
Yeah. I was dead, basically.
Right.
It's so bloody.
Shakara looks pristine, newly pressed.
Okay, I'll lead them back to the tavern if there's no issues.
Okay, Pass Without Trace still up. If you do want to remain being stealthy and trying to move as stealthily as possible through the city, like you mentioned, taking some of the back routes, you absolutely can, and I'll take a couple more stealth checks here as you're moving throughout the city.
Yeah, I think as long as the spell's active, we'll make use of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
20? No, 21.
19 Falzern.
28, Shakara.
All right, so Kula got a 29.
Woo!
Cool.
That's my boy.
Yes, as Kula has saddled back up next to Shakara and is basically following her lead and trying to mimic her movements as much as possible. And as you're moving through Hannah's district, it doesn't look like anything is amiss, at least in the streets, right? Doesn't seem to be any type of panic or anything that seems out of the ordinary as far as as you're moving kind of around the rear of most of these buildings, right? Around some of the back entrances to them that don't face the busy streets, but as you're peering in between the buildings down these little alleys, right? It just seems like people are going about the business as the nightlife, as now having been walking through is quite vivacious in Hannah's district, and doesn't seem anything has disrupted that.
So there's no panic in the disco.
There's no panic in the disco.
Doesn't look like they know Hannah's been taken out. Of course, they're not going to find Hannah's body, are they?
Top half was still Hannah.
Yeah, it's sort of this creature of some kind.
Yes, I certainly would expect there would be more chaos.
Unless the regular people just don't know yet what it's happening.
Perhaps her cadre are trying to keep it quiet. If they do know.
That would make sense. Do we know who takes over if Hannah was to die?
Do I have any knowledge of sort of a second-hand person that's in charge whenever Hannah leaves, or?
Yeah, you can roll me a history.
13?
I mean, you've had, and maybe still do have a close association with all three of the district bosses of Drukral, right? And whereas Lag has his partner Gilgamesh, you have met and spoken to and know about. When it comes to Detmer and Hannah, they don't have somebody like that. I suppose Detmer would lean a lot on Frank, but that certainly doesn't mean that Frank was guaranteed any type of elevation to some higher station as a reward for his duty, or if you understand what I mean. But when it comes to Hannah, other than like her always keeping her guards very close to her, as again, like she goes nowhere without them, or went nowhere without them. You've never met or seen anybody that would be like a successor to Hannah's title.
Yeah, as far as I know, Hannah's always been the one in charge. I mean, she's got lackeys all over the place, and maybe one of them will make a play to take over, but they're not trustworthy. They'll probably kill each other off after they loot the place.
Take care of the Nyogi and the city's yours, Shaft.
Ha! I'm not interested in that.
No? Haven't thought about it?
She does have very lovely quarters, Shaft. I'm sure you could make yourself comfortable. Falzarin kind of smirks and winks at Shaft.
It's a nice place, but yeah, you'd have to clean the hot tub.
How much further to the inn?
It's right up here, just about a half a mile.
I need a bath so bad.
Yeah, you stink. I've already wiped my shoes off.
I mean, it would have been up to your neck. You're so short.
Yeah, ankle deep is what, waist deep for me?
Actually, the funny thing about halflings is, compared to a normal human, up until the knee, they're the exact same size. They're a lot of legs. Halflings are actually 3/4 leg.
They should be called calflings.
Yes, about an hour later, an hour 20 after getting out of the sewers, moving a little more slowly as you're taking the long way around back to the Tickley, you do make it safely to the inn.
As we're walking towards the inn there, we're going to get all your armor and everything on before we go see Sally?
For what reason?
Just because that's probably the most important thing first. Be prepared.
I mean, do you want to wait for me to take a shower and get my armor on? We can just...
If you two do need a short while to clean up and don your armor, I do have a little errand I could run while you're doing that.
I just think Shakar and I would rather turn this amulet in right away, right?
I agree with Mia.
Stomp right
Okay.
in there. Stinky is all.
Just asking.
Falzarin, what errand is this?
Well, I'm... to be honest, I'm feeling a bit naked without my bag of holding. I was hoping that the magic shop might have one I could buy. I didn't think of it when I was there last time, unfortunately.
Right. No. I just keep walking.
Well, maybe let's drop off the amulet, and then maybe we can fly over to Magic before they close.
Well, that was my plan, was to use Denny to get me there more quickly, but if you insist on dropping off the amulet immediately, I suppose we can do that.
You do not need to be here for this.
That's right. It's all right. It's right here. There's the door.
I'll walk up to the door and go in.
Yep.
We all
If it's
barely
unlocked.
survived tonight. You want to go shopping?
So as you approach the entrance, there are 2 paladins stationed outside of it. And like when you left, you notice in the streets that the paladin presence in the close vicinity of the Tickley seems to have been amplified. There's plenty more in the streets still after the fireball that happened earlier today. And they, of course, recognize you and they'll nod. And you see one kind of gives a rap on the door, and a bolt kind of disengages from the inside, and you are let in.
Is Frank there?
Frank and Jelly are not here.
Empty.
It is empty of course, normal patrons, as they had closed it to everybody, and it seems that Frank and Jelly were part of the people that were sent away. Inside there are still paladins, and it does look like they've done, as good a job as they have to tidy everything up. The destroyed and burnt tables and furniture have been taken out along with the bodies of those that had perished, including Igna. Nowhere in sight. But it is, it's looking pretty deserted inside.
I must speak with Sally. I'll just say out to the room to whoever wants to go get her for me.
We go towards the door.
Sure, at the back door. And then there is still somebody stationed outside of it. It just isn't Frank anymore. And they knock on the door, and they disappear down the stairs, closing it behind them. After 30 seconds, they come back up to let you in, much like Frank would do. And it doesn't take a password, though. but he does let you down the stairs down to Sally's office.
Okay, I'll follow down.
I'll follow.
I'll go.
She stands as you enter. Is there more trouble?
Well, there was. The important thing is, we found this. And I will hold out the amulet. This is what Samuel has been looking for. He told us to give it to you.
Oh, excellent. You've found that quickly, and she will take it from you. And she goes to the desk and kind of pulls out one of the bottom drawers and picks up like a little... It's like a miniature little chest, right? It's maybe like 8 inches long by about 6 inches wide and 6 inches tall. And she just opens it up, and there's kind of a velvet cushion inside, like velvet line, and we'll just place the amulet inside it. And she goes back into the drawer, leaving the little treasure chest on the desk, and she pulls out a little coin purse and hands one to each of you. This is partial compensation should you deliver the amulet to me. It's just what I've been instructed to give you.
Thank you. And I'll look at Mia.
Sort of pop it up and down in my hand to sort of feel its weight, and then open it up to look and see what type of coins are in it.
I'm afraid to ask. Is it platinum? Is it a platinum piece?
That's why I opened the bag. What kind of coins are in
it? They are filled with gold coins, and it is quite hefty.
I don't open mine. I just put mine into my pouch.
Estimate on by weight.
Sure, I think Shaft, you've handled your fair share of coin purse, and you guesstimate that it holds upwards of 1,000 gold pieces.
Okay, I go.
Dang.
Fair enough. I tie the top off and throw it in my pouch.
Sally, have you talked to Samuel?
No, not for a number of days.
When I sent a message and he told me to deliver the amulet to you, airships are inbound, about 2 days. We're all to meet at the tower.
Then they're ahead of schedule. Thank you. I'm sure word will reach me.
Of course, if I hear anything more, I'll let you know. We're also in need of an extra circlet or two, and I motion to Kula, who's with us now. Right? And, we've made a friend with the last Darkling in the tunnels. I'd like to give him a circlet as well. The Nyogi are through the sewers, from what he says.
My goodness, we haven't seen any sign of them on the surface.
They're crawling through the sewers. We heard them in their deep speech when we were coming here, and I kind of looked down at my dress all covered in poop.
She kind of looks you up and down, kind of for the first time after she was kind of...
Like it's finally registered.
Right, exactly, right? And, looking at... she's kind of cocks her head and you're both in dresses. She's like, okay.
Mia had an accident.
Once the airships arrive with the additional supplies, I'm sure you can requisition any number of circles that you may need.
Sounds good.
I think I'll just turn and go, all right, Sally, good night, and walk back out. I don't think there's anything else we need to talk to her about.
Anything we can help you with, Sally? We have 2 days. We've already found the amulet.
Well, if you found the amulet, then there's no need to finish the construction of the tower. I'll send word to the teams there. We'll still hold it as a strategic position for the assault, but you've finished what you've come to do. Unless you've been given new directive from Samuel, I have nothing for you myself.
No new directive, but things in the city will be changing soon. As Detmer's gone, just want to let you know, I think Hannah's going to be out of the picture for a while.
What do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean?
You know.
We heard rumor.
We heard rumors.
You can't believe...
People were talking.
You can't believe everything you hear on the streets.
They said there was a commotion at the theater. We had plans to go, but were dissuaded.
Didn't quite make it there. Pointing at our outfits.
Oh, I see. So instead of a show, you decided to venture into the sewers?
In a roundabout way, yeah.
We're told that's where the amulet was.
We had no choice.
Oh, thank you for the warning. Have you informed Samuel of this as well?
No.
I don't think so. I only had 25 words.
The magical ability we use to contact him is quite limited, unfortunately.
I just, with the Nyogi in the sewer and...
Yeah, I mean, you're here. That's why we let you know. I mean,
Yeah.
all the paladins here can at least try to hold things off if it goes bad. We're gonna go get some rest. I mean, we're beat, and tomorrow we can chat and see what our next plan is. Maybe even contact Samuel.
I appreciate you informing me.
Good night, Sally. And I'll turn around and head back up the stairs.
I'll get up to the top of the steps. I'll push me in the back and go, "What the hell?"
Shaft, I forgot. I forgot that maybe the paladins aren't as good as I think they are. I just trust them with everything I know, and then I tried to pick up what you were laying down.
I said good night.
I'm sorry.
Let's get you out of that stinky dress.
I know. I just like telling everything that I know, because the Nyogi are what matters, not Hannah.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens with the Nyogi. Maybe let's get some rest. Falzarin, how about we head to magic in the morning?
That sounds like a better plan than going this evening.
Yes, you may have a point. Perhaps I should get some rest and try to make it there tomorrow.
I head upstairs.
I'll follow.
Remind me of the room segregation here.
It was
Don't remember.
Falzarin and I.
Don't remember either.
Well, I'm not too overly concerned with where the party members are, but what about the NPCs that are with you? Dragon, Hulsa,
Shakara and Hulsa were sharing a room. And I guess Kula will share our room now, too.
in addition to Dreg?
Yes. Yeah, me, Shakara, Hulsa, Kula, Drag, and Mullen are all in my room.
Oh my gosh. The Dendar orgy.
Little Dendar circle jerk going on, is it?
Okay, so only Shakara will retire to that specific room.
Yes.
And I guess, am I with you boys, or am I?
Well, Mia
yeah.
had your own room. You had, if you
Okay,
recall, you
okay.
had your own room.
All right.
You wanted your own.
I thought so, but
Shakara, as you enter this room, as the rest of you, you're all retiring, correct?
Yes.
yeah.
All right. Shakara, as you enter the room, you open the door to a bit of a grisly scene. Dreg is slumped against one of the walls. A deep gash in his forehead is bleeding. He looks to be unconscious. Hulsa is kind of stooped over him, and she's holding his dagger in her hand. On the other side of the room, there is a dead doppelganger. And Hulsa is just coated in like this greenish blue blood, which seems to be originating from the doppelganger. And she reacts to the noise as you coming in. She whirls around wielding the dagger, and then finally sees that it's you, drops it to the ground, and rushes over to you.
I will put my arms around her. Hulsa, what has happened here?
She frantically motions to the doppelganger and pulls out her little notebook, scribbling, "Mullen attacked us."
Mullen was a doppelganger.
And she nods vigorously.
And I'll look at Dreg. Is Dreg okay?
Alive, she'll write.
Not a doppelganger.
She shakes her head, no. Hurt in the fight.
I don't... And I'll go back out of my room and go to Shaft's room. Shaft! Please!
I just laid down. What?
You must see this, please! Mia! Falzarin, please, come quick!
Son of a... I'll get up, put my boots back on.
Mia puts a towel on, jumps out of the back.
The luxury suite, I tell you. I'll walk. I'll follow Shakara.
Falzarin jumps up, hearing the urgency in Shakara's voice.
And I will go back to Hulsa and check her over. Is she hurt?
She looks like she took a bit of a battering as well, but she seems otherwise fine. Mostly superficial wounds.
Is she bleeding anywhere?
It doesn't look like it, no. She's covered in like doppelganger blood.
Before she does anything, I am going to take out a dagger and cut her on her hand to see what kind of blood comes out.
Oh, okay, yes. And she's bleeding like red blood. It's red.
And then I'll grab her. I'm sorry. I had to know. And I will wrap her hand up for her I'll tear off a scrap of my dress and wrap it up.
And Dreg is obviously bleeding, normal blood, that kind of thing.
Yeah, Dreg's blood also looks red. Hulsa, as you're wrapping her hand, she sees Kula is here, really noticing him for the first time, right? And she kind of reacts, like pulls back defensively from Kula.
It is okay. And I will reach out my hand to Kula and grab his hand, and I will put a little slice on the back of his hand.
Okay. Cutting everybody.
Everybody's getting cut tonight.
Okay.
Mia's like watching Shakara do this and just decides something needs to be done to heal them and stop slicing them. And so she's gonna do Prayer of Healing at 4th level, and everyone gets 22 hit points. It's 6 creatures, so I forget how many of us there are. So that would be Dreg and Hulsa first priority, then Falzarin and whoever else could take some. I'm like full, but
okay. There's more than enough to go around here. And yeah, as you know, I think Prayer of Healing believe takes a minute to fully cast. But
yeah, like 10 minutes. Sorry, I start healing. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I see. That's fine.
Takes 10 minutes. Yep.
Sure. And yeah, I mean, you've all come in, see, as Mia starts casting, Falzarin and Shaft and the cleric. Also, you all see the state of the room and the deceased doppelganger.
Hulsa, Kula is understanding of our position. He knows we are with the Coven, and he was taken in by a false Isabella, for which he feels shame and regret. We have nothing to fear from Kula. Please, as best you can, tell me what happened here.
And, a few quick scribbles, basically. Received your message, was informing Dreg. Mullen attacked us.
Goodness.
Can Dreg say anything further or no?
Well, this is still going on before he's healed, so he's not quite conscious yet, right? This is in the 10 minutes of your casting.
Okay.
So I point down at the doppelganger body. I go, that was Mullen?
Hulsa nods.
Has he ever left your sight since we've got here?
Hulsa, she's kind of thinking. She shakes her head no at first, but then kind of gives you a bit of a shrug.
Can doppelgangers change their shape once taken?
I'm not sure.
Would Falzarin know that?
Yeah, you can roll me a, what would that be? Some type of
Natural
intelligence.
20, so...
Ooh.
Okay.
Doesn't matter what it is.
No fucking matter! Yeah, I think Falzarin, again, you've done lots of reading throughout your time in Heracleon. Yeah, doppelgangers are a shapeshifter. They basically can see a person or something they want to mimic and change into it. In addition to their limited telepathic abilities to kind of glean memories from that specific target, right, which would obviously play into more of a longer con rather than just, fixing themselves on the surface.
It's certainly possible that this doppelganger could have changed forms multiple times. That is within their abilities.
Oh, so they're not just stuck as Shaft or
No.
Falzarin then. Oh, crap.
But why attack Hulsa and Dreg?
I don't know.
And where is the last one? Unless there are more that we do not know about.
Maybe?
It's a good question.
The DM does seem to like doppelgangers.
Bill just smiles. Just for the audience so that they know Bill's smiling.
Bill here, smiling.
Yeah, Bill here, smiling.
So, Mia, you get off your prayer of healing, and Dreg comes to. And
Here we go.
He kind of jolts and is looking around, immediately like raising his hands in front of him defensively, and then just puts one up to his head and kind of like grabs it and grimaces.
And I'll run to his side and kneel by him. Dreg, are you okay?
Oh, yeah, yes, I'm fine, but Mullen, we were. I was just speaking to him, and Hulsa said you asked for help, and then he attacked.
Yes, he's... apparently was a doppelganger.
That wasn't Mullen.
I don't know why he attacked you, though.
Then where's the real Mullen?
I do not know that either.
The question is, how long has this been the doppelganger? And were we ever with the real Mullen?
And what did we say in front of
Do you
him?
remember if Mullen left your sight, Dreg?
I've been with... I mean, we've stuck very close together. Since the boat, we both suffered great trauma. We'd become friends.
There wasn't a time where you didn't know where he was?
Since the tents?
I mean, I don't believe nothing that stands out to be an extended period of time, but I wasn't making sure he was always within eyesight.
Days then. Potentially days.
There were many times where it was just he and I conversing.
Mia, can you locate him?
The trouble is, these doppelgangers, they have some psychic ability to know people's memories, and they can be quite believable, unfortunately.
Well, as far as we know, there's one more. And it's none of us, right?
So I have locate creature, not prepared, and even if and when prepared, you have to be within 1,000 feet of it. So I don't really know. It's not foolproof. I mean, do you think he'd be close?
It's worth a try, isn't it?
I'd have to do it in the morning. I haven't practiced that spell in a while.
Okay, I would appreciate it. In the morning.
I guess I'll just turn around and walk back out of the room and go, well, remember to lock your door. And walk back to my room.
Okay.
Are there other rooms? I guess there's other rooms up here that are empty.
Yeah, plenty.
I will take the doppelganger and drag it into a different room and try and, barricade the door from
Well,
the
that maid's
outside.
going to be surprised in the morning, isn't she?
We can tell Sally about this in the morning. No need to disturb her this evening.
Okay, you have your choice of 6 rooms. Which number would you... 1 through 6, just so I have an idea of where you're putting this thing.
3. It's always 3.
That's your room.
Sorry, 6 additional empty rooms. Oh, you drag it right back to Shaft.
Here, I'll leave this here for you.
Okay, so everyone's going to retire and we're going to go in for a long rest. Is anyone wanting to actually barricade their rooms and put up any additional defenses in case, or what's happening?
I think I would probably use Lehman's tiny hut tonight. This is seeming very suspect, so I will offer to anyone who wants additional protection. There's space for some if they want to share the tiny hut.
I would like that. Yes. Thank you, Falzer.
Certainly.
And I think Hulsa and Kula and I will take turns taking watch in our room.
I'll sleep in the bed.
Mia's gonna get her alone time.
All right, so Dreg swoops down and retrieves the dagger that Shakara gave him. He seems to be holding on to it and keeping it pretty, close to him. Okay, so then Dreg is going with Falzer and then Tiny Hut in Falzer and Shaft's room. Shaft is going to remain in the bed. All right, okay, I like this. So what is everyone doing? So Shakara, so you're just going to keep watching, you're not going to barricade your room, not pulling a gozer.
I think maybe we'll do the movie trope of putting the chair up underneath the doorknob.
Okay.
I don't know if it actually works, but that's what we do.
Okay. You find that your door's open into the hallway, so it actually... No,
I'll put the chair back in the corner.
I put the chair on the outside. That'll fool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll make sure the windows are bolted shut, the door's got a lock on it, and, the standards.
Okay. All right. Okay, we can all settle in for a long rest here.
Before I do cast the tiny hut, I'm going to want to check to make sure that all of my belongings that I left are still there and bring them in with me.
Okay, yeah, everything looks like everything's still there. Nothing has been touched or pilfered through or tampered with in any way.
Excellent. Okay.
I only have one spell slot, Leland, but I think I want to try to scry on my dad or my brother. I was trying to look at your face to see which one. I don't know, just to see if I can figure out who it was that was captured by Hannah.
So which one will it be then?
Yeah, so I'm gonna scry on my brother. I rolled a D100. Over 50 was my brother, under 50 was my dad. Leave it to the fates. So, I mean, obviously I'm very familiar with the target. And I don't know that I have, like, a garment or anything like that to help with modifier. But I don't have a lock of my brother's hair or something. It says it takes 10 minutes. Concentration, and I can hear and see a particular creature I choose on the same plane of existence. Target must make a wisdom saving throw, and it's modified on how well I know the target. I feel like my family would want me to see them, though, right? Like, does that make a difference?
It would if the target knows you're casting the spell on them.
Okay.
Right? Because you remember how we did it with Hannah is when she failed the throw, the saving throw, she was unaware that she was being observed, right? And only when she passed it did she know someone was trying to look in on her.
Right. There's the other option. I can choose a location and have a sensor in that location. So he was in a very specific closet or something that I saw, right? Or got dragged into a certain door.
You saw him in the little balcony area that overlooks the dance floor and the bar of the Pussycat Palace.
Right, like Hannah's balcony.
Right.
I doubt he'd be there right now. So I think it makes sense to stick with creature instead of location. But it's kind of cool that they give you the option.
Okay. So you're going to have some pretty good modifiers here.
Yeah.
Is there something that maybe in your youth your brother might have given you as a bit of a memento or a token or something? Would you think Mia would carry something like that?
You know what I'm gonna think? I think it makes sense that Braun, my brother, who I have in mind, Braun and I, being raised the way we were to be such warriors, would have spent the time like polishing our shields and painting our shields and holy symbol on there. So I'm just gonna like think back on my shield. Is that a doable thing?
Yeah, I like it. I think with the connection you have with
or
your
some
brother.
sort of one of my sword, like I guess I don't even have a sword, do I? Never mind.
No, I understand what you're getting. It's like this shared experience that the two of you have, right? A shared memory, which isn't necessarily something physical.
Right, or like, oh, that dent is the one time he attacked me with his hammer, and like...
Sure,
yeah.
sure. That's cool. I like that, yeah. And I think, like, with this spell, it's... I don't know, it seems ambiguous to me, because it's like, you're trying to spy on someone that wouldn't want you to look in on them, right? But like you say, in a specific situation, a moment of duress, this target would want you to, so would they then be able to fail to save? Like, that's a weird thing, so...
I look at the scar on my finger where he bit me that one time.
All right, so he's going to have a negative 10 to this wisdom save here. which I guess comes out to a 0.
Whoa, okay. That's good.
So he failed to save, and you feel the effects of this spell that you have done before, obviously, start to take effect. And then before anything comes through, like before the view of your brother comes through, it's just cut off. It's stopped. And the spell has no effect. And you do know that it should have been successful. So this isn't anything as per... This isn't something like that the spell would work. Something has interfered with this.
Right. Again, it says we have to be on the same plane of existence right now, that kind of thing.
That's
would
true.
know that.
Yeah, you would know that, absolutely.
Some sort of magic. Okay. Alright, well, I go back to bed, but I'm going to bed with my armor on.
Okay.
Not gonna go in the tiny hut, but I'll go to bed with my armor on.
All right. And we all settle into sleep. Okay, so we're watching in Shakaro's room. Balzer and Shaft, are you two just sleeping? You're watching?
I'm just sleeping.
I would probably speak to Dreg once I see that Shaft has already passed out, sort of the second that his head hits the pillow.
I snore pretty loud, so I'm going to keep somebody up. Involuntary watch.
Dreg, it's probably going to be a little bit tough for either of us to get fantastic sleep tonight. Do you want to take turns watching for a bit? I can certainly go first. I'm sure you're exhausted.
Please, I'll take first shift. Thank you for this hut. It's the least that I could do.
Are you sure?
Of course.
Okay. Wake me up when you are ready to get some rest yourself.
I will. The night about halfway passes, and the rest of you are kind of woken up. All of you are woken up by a grunt or a scream as Falzarin, you wake up with a dagger in your chest from Dreg. And that's our show. For more Aspara information, visit incorrigibleparty.com, where you can find all of our social media links, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as our Patreon. Our patrons get exclusive content like blooper reels and patron-only mini-campaigns. Our theme music was created by Josh Jarvis. For any of your musical needs, you can contact him at jamesmercymusic@gmail.com. All the rest of our sounds and music throughout our plays provided by tabletopaudio.com. And of course, our show sponsor, Critical Hit Design. For your design needs, visit criticalhitdesign.com. Happy adventuring.